Well, ladies and gentlemen, Grunts and Pogues, this is Warbag again with another episode of Talk Guns. We're sitting here on episode 2, and I had the last episode with Andrew Nard and Joey Caldwell, and this one's just me and Joey talking about some shit. All right, here we go. Hit it up into my Zoom slide, and he's already up on camera. Joey, say hi to the people who I haven't named yet that watch Talking Guns.
Hello, fellow subscribers, and hopefully some Libo Team members carrying over to check this shit out.
Yeah, definitely. So you got your Libo team, and who else? Crowder's got his people that I don't know what he calls them. Um, and then I don't know, what podcasts call their people? It's like the Insane Clown Posse. They call their people something, right? Like
Juggalos,
Juggalos.
yeah,
That's right. And
yeah.
then freaking the Grateful Dead. They call all their people deadheads or whatever like that. And then talking shit calls those people talking shitheads. Or not, no, tactical shitheads, right? And then I don't know. I mean,
I feel
I
like
need an endearing thing to call the viewers, I suppose. I haven't figured it out.
I'd almost it's something like Children of War,
Twerking
like child
gamers.
soldiers twerking good. Even though you can be 40, you can be
Yeah.
40, but you're
I
still a
mean,
child of war, maybe.
yeah, I mean, let's call them freaking gun one and gun two. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna think of something, dude.
But,
It's gotta fall in natural. It's something that just
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Something that just happens.
Little freaking rounds in the ammo can. So what I was drinking and I finished it all was this high noon freaking vodka soda thing. It's pretty light on the ABV. Which is why I'm gonna keep on drinking, and I'm gonna get into these Blue Moon Light Skies, which are also probably about 4% ABV. So real light on the whatever and shit like that. And it's
Well, with taste, you
boom.
gotta your senses. Your sense. If you muscle something in your old age, seeing what
Yeah.
you've saw, my opinion. In the Marine Corps, you had people you could flip out. You'd have your brothers, kind of like keeping the reins on. In the civilian world, when I got out, I flipped out a couple times. I didn't have anybody keeping the reins on. It didn't end up well. What I figured out real quick is when you're drinking, if you're going to pursue drinking, obviously you got to learn when to cut yourself off. But things that have certain tastes, you wanna say when you drink it, you want to say, this is good. You don't
Well,
want to muscle something down. Those little vodka sodas are just, I
they're
don't know,
those ones are tasty.
they're
These
so tasty.
these are not. These Blue Moon Light Skies.
Uh,
It's like a very light tinge of the freaking tangerine peel, but mostly just tastes like fucking seltzer
I,
water.
brother, I gotta drink the. If I drink beer, it's gotta be a full beer. You can never go. You can't do the light beer. It's puke water to me. But I do love them seltzer tequilas. Oh my god, they're five
Yeah.
percent or
I got some good tequila right here. Give me a minute. This guy. So this Adictivo tequila, this Reposado is very good, right? But I've already done spoiled myself and freaking. That's what the bottle looked like. All right, so this is the Reposado, and it's delicious. A little bit limey, has like a citrus note to it and shit like that, along with the a strong agave taste. But very good, smooth tequila, being a higher item here. But I've tried the añejo, and my friend, I don't think I want to go back to this one. It's just that this is what I have. Um,
that's what I was talking about. That's what I was
like
talking about.
after trying the freaking Adictivo freaking añejo, oh my god, dude, that is such a good tequila. It is amazing. Like I don't know if I ever want to drink another tequila, except for maybe the extra añejo. Because I'll tell you, this one, very good. Hold on, I'll tell you all about it here when I take a
You sca-
fresh go. This is a
Here it goes
good
down into my
sipping down
belly.
tequila. Mm.
Mm.
God.
Oh, and you can hear the swallow too, so you
Oh,
know he's taking it. This is a man of men.
oh my
He just
god, this
held it in his mouth. He loves the burn.
that's a that is a really good tequila. Hold on. Oh god. Yeah. Like that is delicious. Like I said, really heavy on that agave taste and stuff like that, and a little bit of a citrus kind of twist to it. but not really so much. You know what I mean? Not too much to overpower it or take anything out of it. It's just a little bit of tang, a little zip to it. But the añejo has almost none of that zip. Like it is like freaking sucking down a sweet tea. It is that good. It's thicker and it's darker. And when I give it a go at the extra añejo, game over, dude. Game motherfucking over. Like I wonder what that should taste like. It probably tastes a little bit smokier, more like the barrel or more like, wood. But the añejo is amazing. The reposado is very good. I highly recommend the añejo though. And regardless of añejo or reposado, both of these tequilas pair beautifully with a good cigar, like a Gurkha. Oh man, like
Yeah. Dude, honest to God, like these acquired tastes, it's something I just haven't. I guess I got a young wife, so I'm the one who's like, babe, stop buying the cheap shit. Like I'm the one who's like,
yeah.
and she can't tell the difference. I'm like, God damn it, that's when you get older, bro.
It's
You
like it's
gotta.
like Quentin Tarantino in fucking in Pulp Fiction, where he's like, you don't have to tell me how good my fucking coffee tastes. I know how good it is. I buy the shit. When Bonnie goes out and she buys coffee, she buys the shit.
Yeah, yeah. That's no shit. It's like I use zero filter fucking water because I don't drink any other water. And I could tell the fucking difference. She'll put sink water in that shit, and I'll drink that coffee. I was like, you use sink water, didn't you? And she's like, yeah, I can't tell the
It tastes
difference.
like
I'm like,
fluoride.
this fucking shit, dude. I just like I don't and I'm like, and she don't get it. Cause she just, I mean, she smothers it in cream. I was like, babe, I don't know what to tell you. It's like,
Yeah, like oh, believe me,
do
I know.
you enjoy me asking you the question? And what's worse is
Like
I know, and you just can't buy it, can you? I
I want to
always
I
know.
want to tell you about my water experience. Like
Ooh.
I grew up all over the fucking place and shit like that as a kid and everything, moving like freaking from essentially Southern California and then base to base and shit like that. Like from Lompoc out to freaking Vandenberg Air Force Base into freaking you know Oceanside and then out to Camp Lejeune and then back to California and living in Moreno Valley. Oh God, fucking Moreno Valley, and never in my life had good water until I moved to Oregon, and their well now like typically right you want to get deeper than 100 feet and stuff like that to bypass the groundwater and or the freaking shitty freaking rainy parts of the groundwater and stuff and get into the real pure stuff and everything. Their well up there is only 40 feet deep. My grandparents' well, because they have this ice cave, this little spring that runs from the mountains down through the ground and stuff like that, and freaking ends up in this little ice cave and everything. And the water there is so pure and soft and perfect.
Oh,
And it's like real mountain spring water, not that freaking like fake ass Arrowhead or Evian bullshit that freaking puts a mountain on a label and they just pull it from the fucking another cat or another tap and stuff like that. It has none of that copper or freaking lead or none of
so it's
that
got that.
freaking that taste to
Yeah,
it where with the fluoride or anything. It's just beautiful, pure, perfect water. And then
filtered by like what,
no, sir.
sandstone,
Yeah, that I
limestone.
also have like perfect hair from washing my hair in that perfectly soft water. But years ago,
Hey,
years and years ago,
hey, bro, Missouri. What I love about Missouri
good,
is
perfect water. You know what I mean?
fucking where I grew up was a little rough because it's hilly farm. But my grandma and grandpa, literally, they rest their soul, fucking they just passed this year. Fuck you, 2020. But like there's still the spot that they covered with an old car hood. There's this water hole of it wasn't built rock. It's just this phenomenon of this rock hole, water. You could build a Japanese just to give you an idea of how water can filter through rocks. Is you can actually build a Japanese used to filter water. Check out YouTube. Sand, charcoal, not activated charcoal, but regular ass charcoal, and more sand with
How
some
does one
boiling.
activate the charcoal?
Ah, well, lemon juice, sir.
Th- That's it. That's the only difference. So if I want to recharge my activated charcoal and my fucking water filters inside of my coffee makers, all I got to do is squirt lemon juice on the motherfucker.
Doubt it. You got to think because okay, so what happens to activated charcoal is it's not something. It's not magnetism. It's literally the surface of it. Apparently, is holy, which most things bind to it or get caught in it. It's like a net. It's a net for most things,
Okay,
and
so
shit gets caught in it, and
it
it can't get uncaught
so it
unless
makes
you
it more. So you have to rinse it out
yeah
with maybe
take
vinegar or something, and then freaking hit it up with the lemon juice
so
for the acid base
no.
freaking contrast, or what?
What you do is okay. There's the activated charcoal. It's used up. Take it all out. Take absence of take a fire. Get pot. Get wood inside pot and close pot off. You have the absence of oxygen and heat it really hot. That's going to make the wood into charcoal or carbon. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
turn into carbon. It's no oxygen's present. We don't like oxygen because
Mm-hmm.
carbon and oxygen are kind of opposites.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but plants and
Something
animals,
about science. Yeah.
science, plants and animals, opposites. We love each other. It's symbiotic. Whatever. Absence of oxygen. We've burnt this wood inside of the pot without oxygen because there's a fire outside of the pot, right? So we crush this charcoal. You might add, say, 2 parts water, 1 part lemon juice to the total. There's a certain measurement of water per, say, gram, pound, whatever of charcoal. So certain X amount of water goes with X amount of charcoal, goes with X amount of lemon juice. I know the
Yeah.
water is
Some
2 parts
fucking
water,
some wild
one
ass
part lemon
like
juice.
ancient alchemy kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be that specific, but it's something acidic. I know lemon works, but there's other people that say any acidic fruit would work. I haven't got that.
Like
A lot of this
grapefruit.
shit you do, yeah, trial and error. But essentially, as opposed to activated charcoal from everything that I could read about, um,
I
it
don't,
just
I don't like that drink.
well, you know how water sticks together. It's because of magnetism. That's
Yeah.
why water forms the way it does. But for something about activated charcoal, it's like a super net that catches most things. Very easy. You're talking. It's wood, lemon juice, and
Well,
water.
it's a dense
That's it.
particulate that freaking that when things go through it and stuff like that, only certain freaking sized molecules can actually get through there or whatever, and it filters out other larger molecules and stuff like that that have a higher atomic weight or what the fuck.
Yeah, and H2O being water, hydrogen is literally the smallest fucking thing, and oxygen at 16, and the atomic table goes all the way, the element table goes all the way up to 130 protons and neutrons in the fucking bullshit.
Yeah, but
So
you'll still
16,
get
you're
things
on the
like
lower. The water molecule is small, so
yeah,
that's why it escapes through.
yeah. You'll
The,
get probably still other liquefied freaking things in there and shit like that that have a lower atomic weight, but
yeah, something
otherwise
that's
it'll
lower
be
than water.
negligible.
Yeah, exactly. Lower than anything that is lower. There's things that are like, say, I don't know where lead's at, I don't know where iron's at, but you could probably look at it and the math they would add up.
I should have gone
Or
to
there,
freaking college, man.
you're just getting out. You're just getting out. See, that's the thing. That's the thing about. See, this is. I mean, now I'm. I don't mean to fucking dip off into why
No,
school fails,
do
motherfuckers.
it, do it, do it.
But I think dude, I swear to God, every college test. I don't know if it was. Thank you, Marine Corps, to teach me to think logically. I
Yeah,
rarely make lower than 80%. I'm in a college right now that you can't make lower than 80%, and I pass every test, and they're like, this is the first time I've been on honor roll. They're like, oh, you know what it was? It's because I don't deal with teachers
because it's
anymore.
80s gravy, dog.
It's dude, it's yeah, it's all about the knowledge. They give you the knowledge. You're taking a test from a fucking India. India motherfuckers don't fuck around. They're like, dude, they're strict on the. You know how that shit is.
Yeah,
They're about the rules. So, dude, this shit's super strict. I'm in my own room. They fucking make you survey your room. They don't. The questions on these tests are not the questions you do on your homework. They're much harder because they preach about critical thinking. They're the same concept, but they engage your critical thinking. But you don't deal with a teacher. You have a teacher, you can reach out to your teacher, Zoom with your teacher, bullshit like we are right now.
yeah,
But dude, for me, the teacher has never helped me ever. I don't. In college, I wrote a paper on why the universe is expanding. Is what I think in a very, very. It was a
yeah.
physical. I wrote a paper and he just gave me an A on it. I'm like, oh, what'd you think about the paper? And he's like, dude, I don't know it. Dude,
I don't
that's
read that
above my pay
shit.
grade. I was like, that shit was badass, but that shit's above my pay grade. I'm just trying to fucking fuck these
And you're
bitches
just
in
like,
front
you know
row.
what? I just watched the Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I basically plagiarized
I
it.
no, that is not it at all, dude. I got into this fucking paper, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, it makes. I mean, cause look, when you look at the Milky Way,
Did you
it like
identify
it's in
like
a
a
star
shitload
form.
of fucking like
Yeah,
data?
numbers. I put a lot of numbers because look,
Well, yeah,
okay,
that'll
so
distract anybody. It'll be like
dude,
this guy
well,
must have done his work, and you can just put bullshit in
yeah.
there if you want to.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could have put bullshit, but I was so mad that I didn't. I like put a lot of effort into it. And this motherfucker took 3 seconds, and he's just trying to fuck these chicks. I'm like, God
Hey,
damn it, dude. Why am I writing it? I mean, I would. I mean,
I
they
mean,
didn't pay him shit. I'm like,
I
what?
don't.
I finally, I ate lunch with the motherfucker. He's like, what are they paying you, bro? And he's like, and the rates they were paying him. I'm like, oh, well, yeah. I don't blame you, dude. Fucking listen, we
Yeah,
drank and it was cool. I
yeah,
was like, so I ain't mad at the guy. There's a reason. I found out I was angry at first, and I was an angry individual for a long time. But they're fucking good. Most of the time, there's a good fucking reason for like anything I've ever seen ever, and it could sound fucking crazy, and certain things I don't understand. There's certain levels that I've never crossed, but there's a lot of things that is fucking understandable.
yeah. I'll tell you what. You know what? You know what I want to understand?
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Here we're gonna. Here's my hard segue.
Here we go.
Hard segue. So, like you asked me on the All Clear podcast in front of all of the fucking Libo team and shit like that, right? On what 14? Yeah,
Hmm.
All Clear number 14, where I'm featured there and shit like that. You guys can look them up on the YouTubes, um, where this is located. And you know what? Actually, when I do upload this to YouTube, I'm gonna put a freaking I'm gonna tag a link to it, just like I will with our other video and stuff like that. I'll tag some freaking thumbnails to the All Clear podcast as well as the freaking episode 1 that we just did with freaking with Drew. All right, but you asked me why I joined the Marine Corps, so hit it. Hit it.
Well, dude, okay. All right.
Like,
So, why I joined, what's fucking beautiful about doing these interviews
yeah.
is every person that said, I don't know if this is hindsight, which is a psychological word, which you're going to have to look up when you get to college. Hindsight bias
It's
is a big
2020.
word.
Something.
Hindsight. Could be hindsight. But each time somebody told me why they joined, there's a very specific feeling that I could relate to. Tunes was one of them about his family being fucked up. Um, and then that was one of them. But the biggest one is because my family is fucked up. It does something to an individual, and it does something to an individual younger than you might think if you're fucked up. And it's never too late to fix it. And I ain't casting judgment because Lord knows I ain't perfect. But and I love my family, but there's some certain and me and my mom talked about it. We're cool. Um, but there's some shit that popped off as a child. It's just a confusion in leadership. It just made me a little. I was always, and maybe it's passed down. I don't know, but I was always kind of a depressed kid. Okay, so I see this fuck and I'm big into Jesus, so it's like you don't want to kill yourself. Um, so it's like
Big
I
fan
see
of the Lord.
I'm a
Okay.
big fan of the Lord. It's where I was raised, and I still read. I'm not exactly your traditional, but I've already said what I thought on Libo Team 5. But uh, the thing was, is all this fucking commercial, and it's like this grungy ass motherfucker climbing a mountain, and that's how I felt. It's just fucking dirty kid all the time, and
Yeah.
loved to climb mountains, and uh, and I saw this motherfucker climb a mountain, transform into this beautiful dude that slew a fucking dragon, and then it was like I was the middle child. It was nothing. It happens. It's hard to fucking watch a jillion kids, but I just me and my dad didn't like the same shit.
I mean,
It
I'm
just
still
you know.
waiting for my school seat in freaking Advanced Dragon Slayer Leaders course, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, third grade, I saw this motherfucker climb a mountain, and it was awesome. And then eighth grade rolls around. Well, it was a rough go. Not that rough. I was a pretty, whatever. Everybody has their own strife. But I was like, dude, fuck it. I've pretty much caught, I think, what life has to offer by eighth grade. So I'm like, dude, I want to die a glorious fucking death battle, and I want to, and then maybe like I'll get acknowledged because Joey little dude, I was always looked at as the kid who is ADHD, shouldn't be trusted with um anything.
Complex tax.
Yeah, shouldn't be trusted with anything. So I'm thinking I'm gonna fucking join the Marine Corps, and knowing that I suck at everything, which is what everybody kind of said I did all the time.
Yeah,
Then I'm just gonna die in a blaze of glory, and then they'll love me, and
dude.
and
Yeah,
that's and that's why I joined, dude.
and I think that's why what I said and what you said kind of like resonates together because so very similar. You know, I was
Yeah,
it's like I was a clown in high school, man. I was a joke. Like I'd get into a
D.
fight and then I'd lose, but I would fight it anyway because my honor. Got to do it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
I
Your
love
honor is
Star Wars.
yeah.
Fucking
Loved me some Star Wars. You know what I mean?
love some fucking.
But the thing
And it's
is,
not the big. We're the Big Bang Theory guys, but less smart.
yeah,
Not with the without the
yeah.
PhD. Okay,
Like
or me. I'm speaking for myself.
I joined the Marine Corps to die. Like that's it, and they haven't given it to me yet. So I mean, I keep on re-enlisting. Fucking
Yeah. Well, and that's and see, I don't know exactly that, dude. Yeah, and that sounds terrible. I'm not gonna fuck. I don't want to die anymore, ish. But no, I'm just fucking with you.
not really so much.
Not so much
Not
anymore.
quite as much as before, but
Uh, yeah, yeah, definitely not as much as before. Coming back less intelligent and ignorant would be better, maybe. But everybody, okay, and I say that because
it's
everybody
not
I've ever
necessarily about.
talked to says I'm smart. I'm
Here's
just
the
going off
thing.
what you
Here's the
guys
thing.
say.
This is the thing. They call this fucking. They call it ignorance, which is fine. But I think what we have, not, not just you and I specifically, but for a lot of us in the military and shit like that, having had an eye-opening experience of witnessing what a fucking world country actually looks like, or like freaking fighting a war, or fucking doing tasks and shit that you don't want to do but having to do them anyway, or building a team and stuff like that of people who are complete strangers to you only freaking days, weeks, or months prior and stuff like that, and them becoming closer than even your blood family and stuff like that to the point where you would put your life down for them. This is there's a level of importance that we've gleaned from our experiences and shit like that that makes many of the other things that seem so important, like global fucking warming, or like turtles with straws up their nose, or fucking the birds not being real.
Love that one.
Makes
They pitch
all
a strong. I think the
Yeah.
point of that conspiracy theory was to show you how fucked up how strong that argument was,
Look,
and how.
birds aren't real. All right. Last of the birds died out in like what fucking 1979 and shit like that. The rest of them now are all just freaking government fucking surveillance drones.
Or maybe the government made it. I mean, it's a hybrid.
I mean,
I don't know.
this
We're
is
talking about the
evident.
Terminator.
This is obviously evident with the geese in Quantico.
Well, I mean, let's think about it. Like, let's look at the Terminator. They made a movie about the Terminator. All it would take to keep cells going, what do we? Some electricity and some nutrients.
Yeah.
So, is developing? Have we honestly not figured out? You could fucking eat a piece of food, throw it down on the ground, and watch a colony of creatures grow on it.
Yeah.
So, are you telling me we haven't figured out how to manipulate specific cells and make drones out of cyborgs?
Just saying, man. It's like they're little Strogs, dude, from Quake. But
Mhm.
so what I'm getting at is that it's not necessarily ignorance is a fucking terrible thing and shit like that. It's if calculated properly, it's the best thing. It's not so much about being stupid or being uneducated. It's that you don't give a fuck. It's that you simply don't care about this information. So you choose to ignore these nuggets of information. And this is not a bad thing. All right. And I get into this. I used to get into this in the old podcast, which is all deleted now, so fucking might as well cover it again.
Cover it again, bro. Should never been deleted.
I know. I was a drunk sad bitch, and
Hey, it goes with the self-loading, and I get it.
Yeah. Self-loathing, major amounts of self-loathing. But the thing is, like, you have this whole freaking from yourself. right? The sphere, these spheres that project and shit like that from what you decide to take in, right? So you have your like, and they talk about this as your freaking like locus of control, which locust is an insect. I wouldn't like to call it that. I like to call it a sphere because it's more important to me that way, right? Of
Interesting.
control.
Very interesting. I love that.
So the
A
things that you
locust.
control, the things that you can, you know, touch and manipulate or freaking or do things with and stuff like that. Like this beer, it's a little bit too full. I'm gonna go ahead and drink it.
Mine's gone.
100% in control of that, in control of this podcast. At the push of a button, I can do things. With my microphone, its position, I can move it. These are things that are within my immediate control. And things that are also within my control are like the bills that I fucking pay. I can choose to pay a bill friggin' several days or weeks ahead of time and shit like that if I want to, because I have the money to do it. I can't control the amount of money that I make because that's already decided for me. But I can control the bills that I generate and shit like that by not fucking buying stupid shit and not freaking signing contracts for stupid shit. You know what I mean? That's important to me. And those are things within my control that I can manipulate and fucking do with. You know what I mean? And then outside of your control sphere, there's the influence sphere. I can't control what other people do. Like my platoon, if I had one, because I don't have one right now, being a training chief, or even the people within the unit and shit like that that require training, I can communicate to them and I can influence them to come and do their training the way that they're supposed to within the timeline that they're supposed to by shaming them and doing it publicly and CCing their boss and my boss at the same time.
Yeah.
So things within my sphere of fucking influence and shit like that, through communication, I can get a thing done, right? Or even by freaking, being nicer and smiling a little bit at freaking old girl at the fucking DMV and shit like that. She might get me through just a little bit faster or have a better fucking attitude. Like the DMV at the bank or what the fuck ever. By my action, I can influence somebody else's attitude. Right?
You goddamn right you can. And that is what, dude, you have so much fucking power to get shit done as far as even getting better service. But you getting better service actually falls on what you do.
Right.
It's weird.
So here's another thing. The largest sphere of all these is your sphere of information. You can control that too. Like where you choose to gather your information from. But sometimes by the circles that you operate in and stuff like that, you gain information that you do or do not want. And this is where the most important thing goes to is your sphere of concern, right? How much do you fucking care? Do you care about what's in your sphere of control? Because if you do, you're only worrying about you. Everything that you can just do by yourself, that's all you worry about. But that's very limited. It's within your reach or within your doable freaking abilities and stuff like that. So you extend your sphere of freaking concern to your sphere of influence and shit like that. And you may interact with more people and want to help them or help them help you in some way and stuff like that, and put things within your control so that you can do things with and manipulate the world within your sphere of control and within your sphere of influence. So these are healthy places for your sphere of concern to fluctuate. But when you get out into your sphere of information, you gather more places and grow your sphere of influence, or try to, and stuff like that, right? But there comes a point in your sphere of information where you can no longer do anything. You can't do shit. Like, I can't save the whales. And I can't fucking pull all the fucking plastic out of the ocean and shit like that. I can't do that. And I can influence a small bit of that. I can do my part to control my beach, or maybe influence my city, county, or state through freaking connections with other people and shit like that, and freaking creating larger bubbles through other people who have greater spheres of influence and stuff like that, by influencing them but not necessarily controlling them. I can't control them. I can influence them, and they can
Fucking
influence
love the way you
with
put that.
larger bubbles and or larger freaking spheres of influence. But my sphere of information is far too large for me to freaking be concerned about. So you need to manage how much concern you have in your information. You don't
That
necessarily have to manage your information though.
Well, and there's an I like the fucking way you put that, man, is because this is what I think in general that we run into a fucking problem with. Like, okay, so you can manipulate these people that do these great things. Our human lifespan is small. So these people that have manipulated it's like fuck, I hate to quote goddamn movies, but this is movies you take it with a grain of salt. It's like bad tequila, you take it with a grain of salt.
I don't know what
There's
that even means. I've never
Well,
had
there's truth
bad
in a
tequila.
lot of the like okay, so I'm embarrassed to being a Star Wars nerd, but I'm gonna quote like the Batman: The Dark Knight, the best Heath Ledger movie ever. Well, I don't know. 10 Things I Hate About You is good, but either way,
Yeah,
um,
Heath is pretty good. He's alright.
hate to fucking didn't want him to sacrifice himself for my own entertainment. Just gonna say that, but um, eh,
Hey,
dude,
he got
you could
warned, man.
he
Jack
got warned by
Nicholson told him them shits. He
yeah.
told him, "You gotta
Yep,
be careful, dog." Jack
this
Nicholson done
character
told
will
that us.
fuck you up.
Yeah,
And he's not even real. He's been made, but that's how fucked up the Joker is, dude. And and that but
this is why
you
method
have
actors shouldn't play the Joker.
I mean or humans need to stop being there's shouldn't play the Joker, but these people do it because they want to like we joined the Marine Corps in a lot of ways. They're probably a lot like us. We joined the Marine Corps. We would say, dude, and that's me. Some people might have joined it for different reasons, but I'm finding a lot of common things in common with these people that it's for recognition, it's for
I don't,
acknowledgement,
I don't,
it's
I don't need to be recognized or acknowledged, even though I have a fucking podcast where I like people freaking putting likes up and crap like that and everything. I get my little fucking jollies
yeah,
off by seeing all the little fucking hearts and what the fuck ever and subscribers.
yeah,
You know, we're all creatures of the same fucking thing and shit like that. All of this is just um, emotional capital that we fucking build and stuff like that. They're just little fucking chits that tell us that like it's a fucking tokens of self-worth that we're not in control of gathering unless we actually do the research or are
yeah.
very pretty or have
Well,
huge tits.
yeah. Well, but dude, and but I said it like I went a jillion different ways, you know. But going back to what your point is, it's like when we hit that for our politicians that are still in office, all these motherfucking old motherfuckers that they're just afraid to to let go. You know, it's like I think as humans we should all be realistic. Yes, we should always challenge death.
Didn't
We should
like
always try to live longer. We should look for technology to live longer. But when it comes into being in places of leadership, you got to accept, motherfuckers, that you guys have been. You're fresh. Your ideals are beautiful when you first start and you're in your prime, and then maybe go 10 years. After that, that shit jades you, and then it's dude. Humans can't keep up like that. Your mind doesn't work like that. You need to recharge a battery.
I can kind
So
of queue up like that. I'm a terrible person, but like didn't G Dub like old friggin' 6-star general of the armies George Washington say that the most important thing that a person in power can do is give it up.
yep, yeah, I did, and he's also the motherfucking president that was like, I don't want this shit. No, no legitimate good. When you think of a good guy,
Yeah,
what good guy do you think of is is really trying to never rarely in this day and age gets elected for leadership? Why? Because he's just gonna be like he's gonna call you out for like let's look at Walmart for instance. I worked at Walmart. Um, I immediately out the gate started at 60 a box per. It's like a box every 60 seconds. You should have a box put out. Well, I engage this minimum, and they're like, we could have you do more, and I'm at the point to where I
a
served, and I'm
box
that
of
guy.
what?
Just a box of product, 60 seconds of box of products. I'm nailing this. Easy standards to nail. And I was nailing the minimum, and that's all. and they're like, well, you should do more, blah blah blah. It's like, no,
No,
we
I,
should
I did that
disagree.
for all these years in the fucking Marine Corps. You can get
Yeah.
fucked. You're paying me for doing this.
Well,
You,
exactly, and that's what I said.
unless
Is
you're
like
gonna
it's
promote me or pay me the fuck more, you can get fucked.
or raise the minimum.
Like you can raise the
Yeah.
standard, but then you're not gonna get the same freaking amount of. You're not gonna get the same amount of this freaking from this kid that's 16 years old, still in fucking high school and shit like that, and doesn't give a single fuck.
And
You
you're
try to
paying them the
manipulate me.
same fucking money.
You try to
and my,
freaking you try to fuck with my freaking thing to pick up their slack. Fuck no. You work with them and make them do the minimum, and I'll just do
Boom.
what I'm freaking held for. Like,
Boom,
the
and
fuck out of here.
if they can't, fire them. Everybody's too much. Ew, our turnover rates are gross. You know what? If you'd stop fucking keeping the shit. Because why? He's funny. The shit bag, he's making everybody laugh. He's blah, blah, blah. There's certain things about the shit bag that allows him to be the shit bag. And it's media. We're fucking idolizing fucking crybaby shit that we like to troll. We're idolizing these motherfuckers now. And
I love me some
dude,
Friday Cryday, dude.
I love Friday Cry Day. I mean, maybe we should be a little bit more open to crying. There's something we got to do. There's something like it's all, I don't, that's it.
Like,
That's what I love about the Marine Corps is, dude, you're just trying to fucking help, man. That's it. You just go in
but
trying to fucking help,
the thing
and you'll do
is,
fine.
you only do what's within your purview. And like the thing is, if you try to fucking, if you're like a PFC Lance Corporal and shit like that, and you're in a billet that's not fucking team leader, you know what I mean? And you try to step up to that team leader spot, he's gonna fucking be like, "Hey, bitch, that's my motherfucking job. You need to step the fuck off." Well, I don't know what you're trying to do. You can have a team leader spot when you fucking rate it. All right? You're obviously kind of good, but it ain't that fucking time right now. You need to fucking get off my dick and fucking do your job. That's it. And anybody that fails to do that is just letting it happen. And they're weak. Weak as a leader.
And everybody like, okay, yes, especially as a fucking veteran, dude. And I hate to be this kind of egotistical fucker, but when a civilian comes at me sideways, dude, that's why I failed nursing. It's because these nurses think they're coming at me sideways, and they don't know their job. And it's just like, look, babe, I've read the fucking criteria. I live and eat. Like in the Marine Corps, that's all we did. Like I got out, worked for the Veterans Hospital. I live, breathe, eat the rules. I fucking read the rules 10 times. While you're fucking off Libo, I'm fucking obsessively studying the rules so I could get. At first, when I go to a place, I obsessively study the rules so I could prepare for a cushy life after that.
Yeah.
You know, but of course, I get fucking caught up in the drama and angry, and that's something I'm working on as a human being. But I also see a lot that it's not just the government that's wrong with the world. Maybe it is the government because they got the psychology unlocked, but people too. I mean, I don't
know. And this
it's
is the thing. And like when I chop and screw and cut this fucking video, this will definitely have to be in it because it's my opinion and it matters to me and nobody else. Here's the thing. I think that in a lot of ways that the people that friggin' sit there and they try to draw on your feelings of what's right and wrong or what the fuck ever and shit like that, or ask you pointed questions that are simply yes or no, freaking like, you know, I want a binary answer, or I want a yes or no. This is bullying, and that's fucking terrorism. What they want to do is influence you through fear by drawing this fucking daunting picture of what the future could be.
Dude, look up with me global warming articles. There's like the day the Earth almost got saved. It's like, bitch, you don't know if the Earth. Fuck you. You know, just read shit. Like you're fucking you're scaring motherfuckers.
Like it doesn't matter if they like. I get it. I do, but they're fucking children, and they're telling fables.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling
exaggerating numbers.
And the thing is, the people that actually the people that bend to the will of these fucking things are children in their minds and in their hearts. They are simply fucking children, and this is why well, I guess the fucking, this is mean, and it might sort of kind of in a way shed some light on my politics, but fuck them. The Democratic Party have a tendency to target the youth and the uneducated minority. Not necessarily minorities all, right? There are many minorities that are freaking superior in intellect and at average or above average in freaking in ability. All right, I get that. That's cool. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, even though we look like two white dudes that are on the fucking.
I know. I'm like wider than my screen just went to fucking nighttime mode, so it gave me a tan.
You are. I am not.
Yeah, I'm white as shit. I'm 2% black, 0.2% black.
I get the win of having freaking being like half Mexican, so. Nobody loves those guys. Yeah.
Bullshit, dude. Mexicans. No, that makes sense. I was just telling my wife about how badass. I was seriously, swear to God, talking about. I think right now in this day and age, Mexicans are actually the most badass race for real.
I mean,
every Mexican I talk to, they remind me of how. I don't know what happened to the world I was raised in, but I get along with all the fucking Mexicans. They always.
Well, at least half of one right here. But
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah. Well, in America, it's like you're over 1/3. You're considered, even though you might be 2/3 white, 1/3 Mexican. You're fucking Mexican, bitch.
But it doesn't matter. It's technically just a freaking a group, right? Of minority. You call it fucking minority.
Doesn't actually matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. None of it matters. All right.
It's a sociological factor. It's why it's a sociological factor.
What I look like that matters. Like, look at my awesome ass fucking face. I look great. But anyway, the reason why they target these groups and shit like that have the less shit. I can't say it like that. I have to figure out another way. The reason why they target the youth is for lack of experience. And the reason why they target minorities with a lack of not necessarily intelligence and stuff like that, but experience outside of their own communities, right? Because they've been trapped in them and have no will to get out of them. Because if you thought you were in a shitty place, a shitty community, you live in the projects, you fucking lived in the fucking ghetto and shit like that, all you got is fucking commercials about fucking Jones fucking barbecue and foot massage. Like, wouldn't you fucking be like, you know what? I might be able to get out of here. I could be able to get out of here if I work hard enough, if I do good enough, if I can, I will. And many, many, many have. And they've found their way the fuck out of there. And what do they get looked at as? They get looked at as fucking sellouts, as fucking whitewashed or some shit like that for freaking having found the way through, the status quo or whatever it is and shit like that. That is freaking the paved path that already exists to success. And it's not just through education and academia and stuff like that. It's through freaking hard work, perseverance, and freaking pushing yourself beyond your freaking limits, getting out of your comfort zone and building something independently for yourself and shit like that. And finding that path towards success and shit like that. Being able to not fall in love with these failures or with your own failures and stuff like that, but instead find those things that work and keep climbing that ladder or walking that path. It may be a very narrow one, but is one that leads to success. The Democratic Party does not cater to or pander to those people. They pander to the people that are hopeless or the people that are freaking that are idealistic and stuff like that and believe in a better world but have no idea how to make it happen. Somebody please tell me how to make it happen. And what they do is they freaking they instigate this fear, or they instill this fear within them and shit like that. It's fucking terrorism. It's absolute terrorism. What they do is they say, this is what's going to happen if blah, blah. And then you see the people that come out of this, the ones that scream, the ones that scream at people to change themselves and stuff, to change everything else. Does it really do anything to those people that they're talking to? Absolutely not. Absolutely not a fucking thing. Does it, to scream in somebody's face and tell them to change their life to the way that you want so that you can live easier? Absolutely not. No. Fucking change your life and give me money.
Yep.
Wait a second.
Yep.
Aren't you fucking morbidly obese? Like eating McDonald's fucking 4 times a day or some shit like that? Like, I think you have enough money to eat. I think you do.
Like, I barely got no money for my
my house isn't as big as yours. I
dog.
want your house. Or I want you to have a smaller house so I can have a bigger house. You pay for my house. Absolutely the fuck not. That's not happening. I worked for this. I walked a very narrow fucking tightrope ass motherfucking path to get what I've got.
Dude,
you cannot or will not do the same. You can go get fucked.
Dude, I hate to break it to everybody, but when I was like heavy, like that's always like, I don't know what's different now. It's just I planned better. But there was a point in my life where I was like, I finally like, you know what, it was like 7 years after I got out. I was like, I'm doing food stamps because I was working construction. I was doing school. And I was like, I'm doing food stamps, with a kid and 2 kids.
See,
now I don't know what I give a 2 kids. I eat all organic food. I eat way better on food stamps than I did.
That's the thing that we agreed on as a fucking great populace of fucking people. It'd be like, you know what? There's a certain amount that I'm willing to give up or be taxed on and stuff like that to help the impoverished that need some fucking help. But
dude,
I will not abide is those
everybody
who
needs food stamps. My point.
What I will not abide is those people who friggin' say, I don't want to work.
Yeah.
I can't work or whatever the fuck. Like, you can do something. Like, even sitting on your ass in your house being freaking, oh, I got the gout, I got the diabetes, I can't get out in the world and do fucking things. I'm agoraphobic. There's no reason why you can't freaking work for a call center answering the phone for fucking Southwest Airlines or some shit like that. And
call centers pay good money. I did it for 2 years.
Look things up on the internet from your home computer. You can do that in your house, sitting on your ass like you do all day, watching Jerry motherfucking Springer. Like, who isn't even
dude,
on
how do
anymore.
you do that? Like, I've lived that life for a second. I was like, you know what? I'm taking off. I took off work this year, and the first 3 months, I was like, well, I played every fucking video game.
This is the problem. You can't have that job anymore. You can't have that job. Not for Southwest Airlines. They've freaking offshore that motherfucker to India.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah, because of the taxes that the Democrats put in play, and anybody who owns, as Mr. Trump says in the presidential debate, if you're a private business owner, you're a fucking retard.
This is why the freaking the mainstream media freaking hates tariffs and shit like that, right? And they're like, oh, taxes on other companies or taxes on us and shit like that. It's like, no. Absolutely fucking not. If you charge somebody else to do fucking commerce within our borders and shit like that, they will be less likely to do it because they have to pay for it, or we'll get a more fair shake. Whereas taxes and stuff like that, they fucking suck for us. But the thing is, if more of us make more money, there will be fewer freaking need for more taxes or more freaking legislation for other taxes to add on to this add 0.1 here, add 0.2 here, add 1.2% here and shit like that of your income and everything, which is what all these taxes are. It's stacking on percentage points and shit like that until you reach where they're taking freaking a greater amount of your money. And the more you agree to this, of them nickel and diming you out of your hard-earned fucking wages and shit like that, the more that you're saying that, like, you know, I don't matter. You do.
Yeah.
You do matter.
Yeah.
Every one of us fucking matters and shit like that. And the more of everybody else outside of your circle of concern or your sphere of concern, right? Or outside of your sphere of influence and shit like that, the less they matter, the better you will be off. And it's like a real quick fucking roll it back and stuff like that. So if I'm not like a super nationalist or anything like that, but here in America, we could become an isolationist country, which is like the fear of the Democratic Party because they make so much money off of this globalist bullshit and stuff like that, and they think, oh, it's like, great world
look
economy.
At the Clintons.
Like, no, we are the best economy,
Dude,
best economy by far and shit like that. We don't need everybody else, but we contribute.
This is why people are trying to attack us too. This is why other countries might be trying to fucking throw a wrench in our plans as well because we're the best.
We contribute to everybody else, and they don't want to stop that. So they try to glad hand a politician here and there and stuff like that, slide him some money here and there, and fucking money talks to them. So they support legislation for freaking globalist fucking ideals and shit.
Or
like that.
they utilize terrorism.
It's so fucking dirty. It's all dirty. Everything about it is dirty. War, also war and freaking economy and everything. It's like it's a fucking racket. And Smedley Butler was right about this. And who suffers? Who suffers but you and I? You and I, at the time, 18, 19-year-old fucking kids going to war and shit like that, facing fucking rounds, RPGs, fucking like grenades and shit like that, fucking having to fight and hook and jab. And
they also look at the reason we wanted to join too. They played off to a certain group of people. That's appealing. This commercial was appealing to a certain group of people because our reasons for joining literally is not that bad.
Yeah.
It's the lost people.
But also look at the housing crises that we have here. The housing crisis and shit like that we have in California is fucking disgusting. People choose not to work. Now, they could always leave. You could leave the country and go to Tijuana and work to live, or go anywhere else in Mexico and shit like that. You can freaking grab a shovel or a hoe, and you can work for freaking dollars a day. You could do that here in America too if you had a tool and a skill. You could find a way to do it.
If you're sleeping on the street, man, dude, just fuck it. There's a bus. You could save up for some change to go try to, dude. We have 7 days a week. One of those, you go to the in Missouri. I don't know if they have this in California, but they have like public places where you can go work on your applications.
It's a choice. People decide not to stay in shelters because they want freedom of choice, and I get that. But if you want freedom of choice, choose to work. Choose to work for an honest wage, whatever it may be. Like,
if you're sleeping on the street, you're working at McDonald's. Dude, it only gets better. It only gets better.
But I can't. I have an illness, right? And it's like, where's the opportunity for people with illness to work, right? And it exists, except it's offshore. It's offshore to somebody else who barely speaks fucking English. Like, that kind of pisses me off a little bit.
Well, you also got to think. These offshore motherfuckers aren't living in the beautiful country of America. I watched I hate this guy.
Right.
I don't hate him, but he's talking about how people from China they literally reference this as beautiful country. We as Americans have these visions of China as not piece of shit, but like scary. And the people from China are looking at us like we're like these beautiful gods. We're flying. He said, "You're flying around like gods," and I got mad at him. I was like, "He's kind of true. We're taking it for granted, but that's what happens."
We can. And you know why? Because we didn't let somebody take our freedom from us. Like, here in this constitutional republic of fucking United States of America, we are supposed to control the country. And if we can't, we have the right to rise up against the government. We don't have to freaking serve the government. We don't have to. It's not within our charter to do so, is to serve one another and ourselves, our communities, ourselves. To be good or to be moral is it's more of a nice to have, and you don't have to. It's, you just got to be good enough. Like, don't fuck with anybody, and they won't fuck with you. Is kind of the rules, right? But nothing says that you have to work. Nothing says that you have to freaking have to be charitable. Nothing says that you have to be freaking anything, right? Or that you have to believe a certain way. You have the freedom to do whatever the fuck. But in other countries, you have to toe a certain line, and you have to believe a certain way, and you have to say a certain thing. You have to love a certain thing, and that's fucked up. That is wrong.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's built off of ancient civilization, and it's just been the status quo. Here in America, being one of the newest nations on Earth, we found a better way, which is what propelled us to fucking greatness in such a fucking inordinate amount of time. It's very quickly, America has risen to being a superpower, and it wasn't just through conquest, because America has very few territories, as you know, has not become an empire, though we do exist, have the small influences around the rest of the world, but we don't own it. The rest of the world tries to own us and use us through NATO or through fucking, like, what was that?
Ideological subversion.
Or what was that? Was that fucking that French fucking deal and shit like that Donald Trump got us out of?
Yeah, the French fucking foreign global warming policy, and he did a great job, in my opinion. They don't let him talk. They don't let him talk about it. He's like, why did you get out of it? He said, it's garbage. It's a mess.
Yeah,
but he says, my goal is clean, super clean air, super clean water.
Yeah.
So he feels.
But we're not going to make America pay for 52% of that shit. Yeah. Get fucked.
Yeah, go get fucked, pussies.
Like
we're working. Hey, go tell an Englishman. Hey, Englishman, I fucking not a problem. I wish I'm not fucking harping, to be honest. But dudes, I love you for telling me this. I'm talking to the motherfuckers in England. I fucking thank you for opening my eyes. But hey, why don't you go ahead and work on an average? They say 40 hours a week. This shit ain't 40 hours a week. It's like 50, 55, 45 hours a week to survive for most people.
Like,
dude, they working that shit.
We're gonna get shamed by freaking by countries like freaking France or Spain or get the fuck ever. What the fuck ever? You got people fucking fleeing Calais in fucking inner tubes like it's Cuba.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's the other side of the coin where you have the sweatshops and the people that are forced to work. And then you got the cool countries that they don't work 30 hours a week. They're 20, 25 hours considered full-time. That's great. And then you got the motherfucking sweatshop countries, probably like China, that they have suicide nets where people can't kill themselves.
I would love to work
from working too much.
I would love to only work 4 hours a day for 5 days a week, or even like fucking 8 hours a day for like fucking 3 days a week or some shit. I would love that. Why? Because I could live my life in the meantime.
And I might. So we have a crisis because we're on a rock. We all know we're on a rock. Oh shit! There's a meteorite coming around, and we need some qualified engineers to fucking help us destroy the meteor. Instead of panicking, we're like, all right, let's use our knowledge to go fuck this meteor up, and then we'll work around. Then we might put in 60, 70 hours a week because we got to.
Yeah.
There's got to be, we got to actually figure out, if you want us to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week, what they try to do with this media shit is to try to come up with a need to. Our only need to come up with, to work this hours and to be top of the economy and to work these and to be slaves of America is because these other motherfuckers in their ancient cultures are trying to control us and fuck, so I get the leaders. I get why we have all this bullshit, but we should, if we could have, that's the history of education I've been doing.
Like, at what point does it become a breaking point where it's like, look, you're fucked up, and you've been fucked up for a long time, and if you look at us, we're not all that fucked up, which is why we're already better than you.
We have
in
less
a
slavery
tenth
time.
of the time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. People say, "Oh, America's slavery, black people." Shut the fuck up. We have the way less slavery time than everybody else.
All right,
And
so
yes, it was a little fucked up, dude. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie.
it's
I'm not gonna lie, dude.
not a little
The white
fucked up. It was
white
like a
privilege
lot
was
fucked up.
through the '90s, dog. Through the '90s. My son was just telling me today about how his friends made a black joke, and I'm like, dude, don't even fucking. I was like, quit it. I was like, dude, you're gonna, dude. I was like, dude, you play video games all the time. Black kids go play basketball. You're gonna get your fucking ass
No, they
stomped, son.
black kids
Like,
play video games too.
no, I know nowadays, but like now, but like it was a sociological thing.
How long?
Black people got fucked over. They had shitty education. That's why they're getting appealed to because the inner cities has shitty education. That's a thing.
But that's
It's a fucking thing.
there's a thing about that, and I'll get back to it here in a second. Hold on.
Yeah. So let me. We
Wait,
had.
wait, wait. So we were like we got into some pretty heavy topics about freaking not it's not politics or partisanship necessarily itself or anything like that, but you know, um targeting freaking populations and stuff like that that are susceptible to a certain narrative and shit. You know what I mean? Of
Mhm.
this word fair. And
Yeah.
you know what? I really like, and I'm gonna go ahead and plug a book right here that I read. It's called Never Split the Difference. It's by Chris Voss. Sounds like a really cool name. He was a FBI agent and a freaking negotiator and shit like that for freaking for like really fucking high profile freaking hostage situations and shit like that, international hostage situations. And he talks about the word fair and he calls it the F word, right? I'm fucking doing my little
Kind of like the way he put it though.
yeah
The F word. It's like because the F word's supposed to be a bad word. Fair.
yeah.
Like what the
It's
fuck is fair? Dog?
it's all about the way that you introduce it into the situation because it's always going to come up in every negotiation. The word fair is going to show up. Whether you're accusing somebody of being unfair to you or they're demanding that you be fair to them and therefore accusing you of being unfair to them, or in the best way, which is to lead off this conversation by saying that I want to be fair to you. And if any time that I'm being unfair, I'd like you to let me know. And if you introduce them into the concept of fairness and shit like that in a place like that of comfort, things become better. But if you immediately assert a sense of unfairness, it starts to galvanize those people that are with you or behind you and stuff like that with this whole freaking anger and this sense of freaking, oh yeah, you're fucking me over. You must be my enemy. So you're developing this enmity between these two sides. And at the same time, when you accuse somebody like, well, that's not fair. Now you've said that whatever I'm delivering to you or whatever I'm offering you is not good enough. Not good enough. Like,
Damn.
what if I actually thought that I was giving you a fair shake? What if this is all I have to offer? Like,
Yeah.
all right, well, fuck you. You're trying to take me for all I've got. So these are different dynamics and stuff like that, and that you can diffuse through introducing the word fair or the concept of fairness the right way, right? And it's been weaponized, I think, lately within not just politics but in media and narrative and stuff like that to do the former, which is to galvanize a base against another or to accuse another of fucking us over, or to say that somebody wants to take everything from us.
You know, that's like taking you're having a mission to take something away from somebody is never been unless that something is harming that somebody else that I'm trying to take. So meth from my oldest brother whenever he was on meth. Okay, that's yes, we're gonna try to take his meth away. Um, and he's overcome that, by the way, people. He's made something of himself. He's worked
Good,
his
good.
whole life, but he did have a little bit of a meth problem. But he held a job, the same fucking job.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, when you've got that kind of energy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, back in the this is back in the anhydrous ammonia shit. Maybe you had energy. I don't know what they got now, but uh, yes, we're gonna. That's I would seek to take that away from him.
but
Unless somebody's done something
but
atrocity,
the
like
thing
I'm
is,
getting revenge. But
what's the
you
the
don't.
payoff is his health and length of life and all these other things and stuff like that that would be more fair to him and
And his children, his
and
fucking children, and
everybody
other.
else concerned and stuff like that with his life. So in no way are you trying to be unfair, which
Mhm.
is good. And that's a thing that you have to not necessarily have to, but you could express. Not should, but you could, and it may generate a better result.
Yeah, and but that never worked. We always try to do that. We always try to take it away. We always try to do what we could to take it away. He had to come to the fucking thing.
You had to
The
make a
more we
decision.
tried, the harder we pushed, the harder he pulled.
Well,
It's cause and effect.
that's
Taken away never worked
where
anyway.
where where Chris Voss comes in again with yet another nugget of wisdom and stuff like that about talking about getting to a point of that's right instead of you're right. So where that comes from is again from this book and stuff like that of first getting to the point of no. You know how like they already wrote freaking books on business and shit like that about getting a yes, right? Or getting to yes, right? And the most important thing is finding your point of disagreement and finding the no first. Finding the I cannot go on with this. No, absolutely not. Like I disagree. This is where negotiation begins. And you start talking about with fairness and by listening to their issues and kind of working them through their issues, but also forcing them to work through your own issues. Like if you have a problem with something, you make them answer it. All right, so this goes into the another chapter of the book and shit like that, talking about freaking the the basically tactical questioning or questioning somebody the right way or asking the questions the right way. So if I ask somebody why, like if I like what happened, kind of stuff like that. That's pretty simple. What happened was that this and that conversation or like friggin' cause and effect sort of things, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Why? It almost
Yeah.
it almost becomes accusatory, right? Or how did this happen? And you're looking, not necessarily looking for, but they expect that you're looking for you individually to accept responsibility for something being your fault. You're put into a corner. But instead of doing that and stuff like that, you focus on fixing the problem. They say, like, let's say you ask me to pay freaking such and such percent interest or freaking to pay for this damage to your car or what the fuck ever. And I say, why? Now you have to freaking state your case and freaking say that you weren't at fault. Defend yourself while going offense against me. Now, that's created enmity between us. But
Shit.
you can go with a more cooperative approach and saying, well, how am I supposed to do that? Now I've asked a question, a complex question, not necessarily what happened, how happened. We're not focusing on the past. We're focusing on the future. Well, how am I supposed to do that? Like, I want you to pay me this money. How am I supposed to do that? Then the next thing that you start doing is thinking. This gives you a point of tactical silence where I allow you to think. Well, I'm thinking my next piece of the conversation, or my piece of freaking how to negotiate with you. And you start coming up with things like, well, you could do this and you could do that. I'm like, well, you don't. This is where I find out how much you know about me, also, what assets I have at my disposal and shit like that. And it gives a kind of a limit because you have a limited amount of knowledge about me of what I'm able to offer and stuff. And you probably don't know how to aim high. So, easy day,
Yeah.
I let you lowball me. And I kind of like take the better deal out of this, right? Or I walk you back. Well, no. Wait. That's too much. That's a lot of work. All right. It seems like, and this is another freaking point of, instead of saying, you want me to do this, or accusing somebody of anything, or of thinking a certain way, of doing a certain thing, approaching the situation with more of like, what it seems like you're saying, instead of saying you're saying this, or this is what I'm hearing. Well, it seems like it's like saying, this is what I heard out of what you said. Can you clarify for me? And now I'm getting even more information from you, right? And eventually, at some point, from all the information that I got from how am I supposed to do this, to it seems like, to paraphrasing your question, or even like doing a mirror and just repeating the last 1 to 3 words that you fucking said and making you talk more, I glean this little thing they call the black swan, which is that little nugget, that little piece of information that changes everything. Something that you didn't know about, right? And they don't know that they were unwilling to give up.
What is the name of this book again?
It's called Never Split the Difference.
I'm pretty positive this tactic has been used on me, being the guy who's getting shafted in the deal.
Oh, 100% for sure.
Like, 'cause like
It's
I said, I don't get out unless friends give me a reference of something to read.
yeah. This is definitely a great book, and it has a lot of freaking lessons to it. So
God, and it
yeah,
just makes me just do like, I just had several flashbacks of like
times you
uh
got screwed over.
just how hard like, because it's all my willingness to work,
Yeah, it's
and it
the
just
art of negotiation, and you can totally fucking do it. So Never Split the Difference is a great freaking read.
yeah.
Yeah, give her a
And
go.
I do believe in survival of the fucking fittest too. So there's definitely a survival of the fittest. There's definitely a code. There's taken too much. There's all these things that humanity has written, all these literatures, religion, and so that's why I say I'm not your traditional Jesus re. I don't believe Jesus Christ is the only way to get into heaven is the Messiah.
Yeah,
I believe he was just a dude who called some motherfuckers out, and they're like,
yeah.
shit, he called us out. They killed him, and they're like, oh, we made a mistake.
No,
Oh, get back to work.
we fucked up. There we
Yeah,
go.
he was right. He's our not Zeus anymore. He's our god. Whatever. Shut the fuck up. Just build me my statue of myself.
All right,
But
I'm
doesn't
gonna I'm gonna
doesn't
try to
change what
freaking
he.
add this into the thing.
But it doesn't change his preachings and some of the shit that we talk about and this
No,
paraphrase bullshit. It doesn't. It doesn't. And that's but that's what I, any kind of religion that we miss the cool guy who stood up against the dick. We missed his
yeah,
point, and we're bringing about like this casting judgment. There's a reason why you shouldn't cast judgment. There's a reason why you should live by these rules that these religions say to live by. It's because the way fucking human nature works. It makes you happy, not God, not this all powerful being that created everything. It's like that's his law. It's not even his. It's the law of physics
I
and
think
of
there's a
nature and of humanity.
I think it's just conceptual framework behind this entire thing and stuff like that. That it's not necessarily about religion or dogma or any of those things.
Yeah,
Which
it's about health
which
and
they're
happiness.
which they're really going after freaking Amy Coney Barrett about and stuff like that, especially with freaking Dianne Feinstein being the way that she is. Um, she really is against the fact that freaking Amy Barrett's a Catholic and thinks that her religion or the dogma within her religion is evident and would have effects on her judgment as a potential justice of the Supreme Court or associate justice of the Supreme Court. Regardless,
The most one of the most organized religions and the richest religions
just
in the
saying,
world.
it's
I
just the
mean
thing.
that
I don't have a problem with it because obviously she's made her way without being a great friend of politics or politicians, but being essentially um, a
bam right there.
pragmatist,
You
or
said it, and that's why they're trying to fuck her.
they're trying to. But the thing is, she's an independent thinker, and she follows the law. She follows the statute and follows the law. But
Yep,
the thing is, and I think she's a constitutional purist, which is good.
it's a
Um,
fucking good thing.
it's
That
what we
bitch is
need in the Supreme Court.
and they
But
didn't like our forefathers. I don't think they wrote the words. They didn't fully understand what they were writing, but they knew what they were writing is correct. And as we what I as we get smarter, we understand that. Damn, what's this mean? Oh shit, it means women can vote. Oh shit, it means black people are people. Oh shit, it means this. Uh, and there's those people that are like, oh god, it fucks up. Oh,
okay.
it
So there's people that
fucks up my
friggin' look
profit.
back on the whole 3/5 compromise and be pissed off about it, and there's a reason that it existed. But do I
Mhm.
really want to go into that right now?
Well, do we want to go into let's talk about terrorism? I've been looking up terrorism definitions. Don't look it up. What was a terrorist definition that we fucking learned?
I mean, it's somebody who uses murder or intimidation tactics and stuff like that to meet a political aim.
Guess what it is now? Guess what Google and Yahoo
What's
and
that?
several other the okay, I love this word and I'm going to emphasize it. Now let's go ahead and say that we also find that there's over 1,000 definitions of terrorist, and it has changed since the last time I've looked it up. I'm pretty sure I can't quote it because I don't
It's
screenshot shit.
pretty simple.
But
You use fear.
no, here it is. Use
Fear is a
fear.
tool.
That's what it started out as. But now look what they've changed it to. The un the unlawful use of violence and intimidation. So you're gonna tell me there's a fucking
There's
lawful way of using violence? Oh, we're gonna. So what that means is
uh,
somebody can make it. Oh, it's for the law to use this kind of violence and intimidation. That's not terrorist. So see how they're changing the definition of fucking
well,
terrorist on Google,
I
and they're
would
gonna say,
say
well, it's not terrorism because it was lawful.
I'd say that compliance techniques are use of or applications of violence in a lawful form, and therefore not terrorism.
Exactly, but notice my whole point of this was even on Google, they have changed the definition of terror. It's the first thing that pops up. It's the first fucking. Nobody's gonna look. Not many people look past this first thing that fucking pops up. If you try to research the definition of terrorism, this is not how the terrorism I knew, the definition of terrorism that I was taught, that I was trained to combat against. It's not the unlawful use. Any kind of terrorism, any kind of use of fear is unlawful. Now they've deemed it the what is the lawful use of fear?
Well,
Okay, of violence
now,
and okay, let's take violence out. We know what the lawful use of violence is. Oh, I guess what's the lawful use of intimidation would be shout, show, shove, shoot. Okay,
well, no,
maybe
no,
they
no,
just
not
made
even
it.
that, not even that. Like it's intimidating to freaking to paint a freaking a picture for us of a future that is wrought with fucking pain or weeping and gnashing of teeth.
I mean, but what facts are they basing this? Oh, this is the future. Okay, so I'm gonna paint like this is the let's
This is what happens if you do this.
yeah, but what evidence? It's like, come
How
on
I
now.
mean, how true is that? I mean, come
Yeah.
on now.
So now they're okay with using now we're okay with using
Well,
acts of
look
intimidation
at
and
what
fear. It's
happened.
just got to be
Look
lawful.
what's going on right now in the halls of the Senate, right? Where they're trying to where they're conducting a confirmation hearing for an associate justice of the Supreme Court. they've decided to politicize this by bringing in photographs of people. And they're just photographs of people. It's not necessarily exactly what they paint them to be, but the idea behind these photographs and shit like that of children or of grandpa hanging out with their grandchild or of a lady and stuff like that that might be a little bit overweight or whatever. The idea behind having these blown up photographs behind these senators and shit like that is to create spectacle. And they're creating spectacle within the friggin' Senate and stuff like that during a hearing to a hearing for the for an associate justice of the Supreme Court and shit like that, politicizing this event because they don't want her to be confirmed, and they want to paint this narrative that if she is confirmed, that she will abolish the Affordable Care Act. She herself, or she will tip the scale and allow the abolition of the Affordable Care Act. And the idea is to generate fear and to say these people will be effective, or generate some sort of empathy, right? And or they're pulling on people's heartstrings and feelings and shit like that.
If and not stimulating.
If you use
whatever
logic,
yeah,
you will say that the idea isn't necessarily to rip this thing away, but to replace it with something that does help these people, right? They won't be left out in the fucking dust and shit like that. There'll just be a better program. They don't rely on the Affordable Care Act. They rely on some of the guarantees of the Affordable Care Act. They don't rely on the freaking mandates for coverage. They don't rely on a penalty for not having coverage. What they rely on is coverage themselves. So another plan could always be created to say that they will have coverage. They will be freaking taken care of, but they are not mandated to have it through their employer or from themselves and everybody else that exists. There are people that do have a savings out there, that have a nest egg that is well enough to take care of them for the next 6 months, if not a year or 2 years or whatever, that have the ability to freaking not have to waste money on medical insurance and be able to take care of their medical bills if they were to arise, and would actually save money by not paying premiums. That's what this is about.
That's fucking. It's dollar. Like, it's just all that I hear is it's just dollar, dollar. Where's
somebody wants what the thing is, not somebody. The Democratic Party wants a reliable source of income.
Yeah.
From people that don't need what they're paying for.
Yeah. Okay, I see. So well, I mean, I'm a simple man. I look at and dude, I get it. There's a technical, like, and this is me being a simple man, and why it's so easy to take advantage of us. As I look at Bill Clinton with um he is a not he's just I thought, to my knowledge, unless I'm fucking crazy, um they run and whatever, like, I'd talk to you, I'd show me the way, whatever, but you're talking, you run non-profit organizations, but you're air. That's the number of money he has. There's no word for it. So yeah, like, I mean, why do you gotta call it a non-profit organization if you're a millionaire? Like, dude, it's just, I'm getting some shit done. I'm helping people out, and they're paying me some money for my services. Okay, cool. You don't have to call it a non. You don't have to blow that shit up. It's so you're already using the art of deception. The company I used to work for had plans unlimited and more. Yet there was that they called the plan unlimited and more, but there was a data cap on it for they insinuated with the plan name that you get unlimited high speed data. That's what it fucking says. Well, they got a lawsuit and lost. Um, so what are we doing? That's it's just why is it so important for them to bullshit us? Is the thought. We get that they're bullshitting us. That is something that we've known. Uh, if they came out and said, okay, we lied about, just said everything that was lied about and that happened, could we forgive and move on? That's what's gonna. That's if we want transparent information, we're gonna have to acknowledge it. Yes, we were lied to, and they bullshit us, and it's all about exactly what logically makes sense. And just okay, we get it. We forgive. It's easier for some people than others. But dude, this shit is obviously there's no way. You know, I don't know. It's just there's no fucking way that if I was a politician, knowing people how they were, I'd only be trying to reach out to a certain group of people. I'd be getting to the group of people that I cared about.
Well, that's what they
So
do. They reach out to their own base,
yeah,
and they use these fear tactics and stuff like that to galvanize their base against another side, and
yeah,
then they try to use buzzwords to gather other people toward
yeah,
their base.
yeah. Instead of just putting out accurate information of what they're about and letting people go.
Well, it
And
doesn't
the
matter what you're about. The thing is, the whole point of being a representative or a senator is to represent. The whole point of this constitutional republic that we have is that we have these people that exist to speak not of their own mind, but for us. And the
right,
reason we elect them is based off of their ability to or not to speak for us. Can they?
right.
And
But
the,
they don't.
the thing is, like, the shitty part about senators is you only get two per state, right? And then the shitty thing about freaking congressional representatives is that you get, one based off of however many districts are within your state and everything goes through the House first and then through the Senate, right? And the idea is to get that 51% on both sides, or one side or the other. 51% or fucking greater. 51%
Right.
of people get to tell everybody else what to do. That's democracy purely. But the thing is, the idea is to get this into a more the idea of this country was to get that into a more friggin' manageable fashion through our House of Representatives and then through the Senate. To say that
Right.
you and if you have a great majority in the House and stuff like that, then it just gets rammed through. Like, no, you don't get to fuck this over and shit like that just because you got voted for your name. Like, and then there's an executor in the executive branch that gets to either make this happen or veto this and be like, this is not the time. We elected that motherfucker too.
Right.
Every one of these people are elected, but
But
we
they give us bullshit information to elect them with. I mean, I guess I don't know. There's some failure in communication. All I know is there's some failure in communication. That's it.
it's the entire thing is it's like Mattis says, it's an experiment in democracy, right?
Yep.
And so far, it's worked out pretty good. But the thing is, we have so many people that exist um, within these halls that are not elected, but they're appointed, right? Or
Mm.
self-appointed. Like, for instance, the World Health Organization. These people are all self-appointed. Not a single one of those people are elected. The CDC, these people are freaking appointed, or they freaking rise through the ranks and shit like that as a freaking expert of some sort, right? Not a single person has been chosen by us to represent us. Why the fuck should we listen to the CDC or the WHO? They're experts? Yeah, okay. But should we listen to them on policy? Absolutely not. Their
Dude,
suggestions,
yeah, I was gonna say if you're such an expert too, their numbers, dude. You look at the CDC website, dude. Where's the research? You can't fuck it. They don't cite their. Unless I might be an idiot.
no,
You might have to correct me. They
they
don't
have
cite their research.
they have data that's incomplete. So
Incomplete data, or this 30% of
let's say
white people got coronavirus 10% of the time
This is
during 50% of November.
what I want to know, right? What I want to know from the CDC website isn't how many total cases there are. It's that out of how all of these total cases, how many people are recovered? All right, and how many currently cases are there? So for the people that have undergone freaking 2 weeks of whatever fucking call it quarantine or restriction of movement and stuff like that, and then recovered and not died within those 2 weeks, put those numbers up. Put that number up. Then you'll see that freaking maybe 0.01% of the number of freaking total cases actively have the virus, or no, less than that, 0.001 actively have the virus. So 100th of that. And then
But they'll say
how many people died from the virus, right? In
right.
total,
They don't.
and then how many today?
Well, they don't say that. They're
No,
like,
no, what they say
well,
is, as of today, there have been this many cases and there have been this many deaths. This is fear tactics to say that you could be next.
yeah, out of all the world, 150,000 died, and in this one study, out of the 10 people who had the coronavirus,
Like,
50% of them died. Oh, what's the age of these people? Where were these people? What kind of health care? What kind of treatment? What? Like, okay, so were they treated properly? Were they left in their homes? Are they? Is this an? Are we talking about a nursing home? Are we talking about a nursing home on the hospice wing?
that I think
Is that what we're talking
that's a
about?
little bit too targeted because
It's they target
gathering.
shit.
But the thing is,
That's how studies work, though. They don't
they
they
only
don't do a
need
general study. They get a population of people, and out of this population, and they control. There's a control
all
variable
you need is
in
one name.
studies.
All you need is one name. It's
Yeah.
one name. They say like I don't know, fucking Dylan Smith, a 5-year-old, died of coronavirus. So that freaking
He
must
had these.
nullify the fact that freaking people or that young people or children are not quite so susceptible to it because one person they're going to take that name, they're going to run with it on the mainstream media and say Donald Trump was wrong, all those fucking doctors
Yeah.
were wrong, everybody was wrong and stuff like that, and your children are in danger now because of
But what
one.
they didn't say was
But
Dylan had fucking leukemia and
Yeah.
was just had these other
Exactly.
pre-existing medical
Yeah.
conditions that he
Dylan was
pretty much
exposed to.
fucked.
Dylan was exposed to like a freaking nurse that was working in the COVID wing.
Or he had HIV. He had full blown AIDS.
Yeah,
And if you have full blown AIDS, a common cold will kill you.
yeah,
Just they don't give you the juicy details that actually
right,
fucking matter to make your adjustments of
exactly.
what you need to
It's
fucking
kind of like
do.
that teenager they had whose name escapes me at the moment and stuff. Died of COVID, and they're like, see, the youth can be affected by this too. But that teenager had diabetes and was morbidly obese. Like,
And probably could have caught the COVID, or his immune system is obviously weak and could have. Dude, factors. There's just factors in
yeah,
there. It's like,
comorbidities they call it.
yeah, it's just like, um, more, dude. It's just such a small percentage of. And I'm not saying COVID ain't real anymore, because there's some people that got tested
Yeah,
positive.
I know. I have a friend that tested positive, and he's a big dude. You remember Hammeister?
Mm-mm.
No,
Maybe I might.
He was a cat alpha guy and stuff. He's out now. He's a cop, but he got the Rona, and he only felt like shit for about a week. I mean, he tested positive. He went down for 2 weeks, and then freaking. I mean, he was okay in about a week, but he said he felt like shit, like he had a bad flu.
Yeah, and I mean I don't know if, like, dude, we had in December, like, our dude, my niece got sick for like a week and a half, and she was down, and she tested negative for A and B, and then of course we all get it, and we all go get tested negative for A and B. I don't know if it was Rona. I didn't go take the test if I had the antibodies after that, because fuck that. But I mean, dude, it just everybody well I know had it. It it sucked, but dude, a week. It took a week, and that's and I don't know what to say other than come on, come on, guys, and watching the presidential debate,
Come on, man.
that shit was, dude. They were asking Trump some very specific questions, like how much money did you pay in
Oh
taxes?
yeah.
Well, dude, he explained already, and they try to cut him off. It's like, dude, bitch, you put that system together. It's not my fault. I'm a private business investor. Anybody who wants to pay, I'll stand by that. Anybody who wants to pay taxes in a private business is a fucking
The
idiot.
thing is, he's
Okay?
not living in
Yeah.
his state of residence, which is Florida, right? He's conducting business in the state of New York, and he's doing all the things that he has to do. But you know what he did? And this is the thing. Since 2016 is where they freaking were like, oh, how much taxes have you paid since 2016, dude? He hasn't been able to freaking live off of the profits of his business since he's been the president of the United States. And not only that, what has it done with his wages, which is $400,000 a year,
He
right?
gave that up.
He gave it away. Philanthropy. He freaking donated it.
Yeah.
So there's a freaking tax write-off right there. Not
The
just
first
it's
president to
it's
negotiate a Jewish Islamic fucking
I'm just I'm just
fuck
saying,
Jewish Islamic have an alliance. There's
like,
a certain Islamic state and Jewish people have an alliance, and I think that's like the first
the
time
thing
in
is,
probably
he had
thousands
to
of
take
years.
a
Thousands of years.
dollar for himself because he couldn't freaking donate it all. So the thing is this. Not only do I not blame him for paying only fucking $750 in fucking taxes since
Yeah,
2016, I think he paid too much. He should have got a rebate.
dude. Yeah, like because I'm pretty sure he's like, dude, he erected a fucking skyscraper to get out of paying taxes.
Like
Did
these are,
you erect a sky? Would you erect a skyscraper to get out of taxes?
I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
would if it was cheaper to erect a skyscraper. You goddamn
You
would.
might could.
Yeah.
But
You
the
yeah
thing is,
if yeah.
if you have that kind of capital, yeah, you can, and you, it would
It's
be a smart
erect a
business.
skyscraper,
It would be a
create jobs and
smart
income,
business
or
decision to
pay
do
more in
so.
taxes.
Like this is the thing, like, but you're not paying your fair share. Is the thing? It's like, oh, here's that word again,
You're
fair. Like,
Oh,
is it?
yeah.
What about me? What about fair to me? Fair, that
Me.
fair word again. Yeah,
Dude, yes, your
keeps
dad
on
worked
coming up.
hard and gave you, yes, everybody he took a small loan of everybody plays that small loan
But
of $1 million.
everybody,
Who could take $1 million and make $10 million is what he was worth when he first became president. Ten
who,
billion dollars.
who, like, I gotta quit doing this. But like, man, I don't think he's piece of shit because
I just don't think
after
so.
4 years of him being on the chopping block and them trying to crucify this freaking dude and find everything they can on him, they impeached him for
walks.
something that he didn't even that wasn't even his fault. Not shit. Like that was the opposite side's fault and based off of lies completely because they had nothing to get at him on.
Dog, I
I'm
started
not saying
anti-Trump.
that.
Started anti-Trump. Didn't vote for Hillary because fuck that. That'd have been a disaster. I didn't
Yeah.
vote, and I was anti-Trump, anti-Hillary, way more a little bit, slightly more anti-Hillary than anti-Trump. But it's like, you know what? If Hillary and Bill were the team that ran it before, it wasn't that bad. From I was a kid, I don't know. I hear good things. I don't know. I don't keep up with shit. But now I'm like, dude, I'm totally like pro fucking. After he handled those motherfuckers in PBS, the little thing about PBS is some secret company that Donald Trump hates gave PBS a fuck ton of money to keep Sesame Street going and other things going. The idea is, say DirecTV gets the first, whatever
Yeah.
company that might be with. I know what company that is, but do your research, people. So whatever company they gave certain PBS a certain X amount of money to save Sesame Street. Now the condition of Sesame Street, the one condition that we know about is Sesame Street shows on DirecTV the newest episodes, right? Well, guess who the presidential debate was sponsored by? PBS. Guess what company hates this certain individual hates.
Oh,
Our president now hates this individual company, this one company, and this one company donated money to PBS. So it's not hard to follow a little bit of trails of money to know that okay, so they tried a little bit to make him look bad, and he was rude, and they're gonna say he was rude, he interrupted me a lot. But let's look at the questions that they ask him. Why didn't we mention Joe Biden was caught on tape with his son? Why didn't Joe Biden address that? The only thing he could say is it was discredited by the media. But when
yeah,
they asked Donald Trump, why did you only pay $750? He never admitted to paying $750, but he did explain fucking good point. No business payer wants to pay taxes. He erected a goddamn building. He erected a hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue, a giant fucking hotel.
yeah,
Okay, he created jobs. I mean, come on, pussies. Like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
dude, you're gonna. That's what you got. He's playing golf and paid $750 in taxes. Maybe fucking take notes.
yeah. Might
Take
could be.
notes.
Uh,
Yeah, like
we got we
or maybe yeah.
yeah. All right, we got to shut this down here pretty soon. We're pushing. We're at an hour and 40 minutes right now, and
Yeah, I got the fucking family blasting through the door and the dog's howling at me in the background. I don't know if you can hear him. He's
no,
right here.
no, I can't hear him.
They
But
they need my they need me. They
yeah,
need me.
yeah, we need to get on with our lives, and I think we covered
Mm-hmm.
a lot of ground today.
Yeah, we did.
Probably a little bit more than we should have, and
It was fucking good talking to you, dude.
yeah, it's good
No,
talking to you too,
Andrew
bro.
does not. Andrew's so fucking scared of talking about what he supports. It's just like, dude. But that's cool. He's just
Look,
trying to go with.
yeah, like
Yeah,
why
he's got his.
not? You
Yeah,
know,
I was like, why do you care? I don't get it. I don't think he knows. I think he's doing something. I know what he's doing, and I understand why he's doing what he's doing. He'll see the light one day, and we'll be that guiding light. But
you just gotta just be true to yourself, and the right people will
yeah,
freaking congregate around you. That's
hmm
fine.
it's something I had trouble learning, and I've been fake
Yeah,
motherfucker for a while, so
like
it's cool.
that's probably one of the reasons why I don't have a producer. I don't need somebody freaking telling me to fucking stay
hmm
with my brand and shit like
It
that.
just won't. It won't work out,
It's
man.
gonna
It
change.
doesn't work out for.
It's gonna
Yeah, it's
change.
gonna
I need
change.
somebody to fucking hold me to my brand or what freaking my general thing is. I'm gonna be off the wall, dude. I'm gonna be all over the
Yeah,
fucking place, and that's
I might be
who I'm
wrong.
gonna
I'm a
be.
human fucking being.
Yeah, let
That's
let
what's
me
funny.
be. You know,
Yeah,
let me be wrong. Tell me when
yeah.
I am.
Yeah, I concur, bro. I 100%. And he's afraid to, and I'm not dissing on Joe Biden people, man. I look at him and I like what I see in Joe Biden is just I feel nothing but like pity when he does his speeches. Like, dude, this motherfucker is falling apart.
I don't pity the foo. I think
Uh,
he's just a foo.
yeah, I have pity for a lot of things. That's what I go. I'm not as fucking I put people down in a heartbeat, but I still feel the pity if I were to do so. You know, it's like it's not like a pity that's gonna it's not destructive pity. It's healthy pity, but it's like it's just like, dude, some of the fucking things I share on Facebook, the hilarious videos, like, oh, I love it when kids sit on my knee. Back in the day, that's what sit on grandpa's knee was a thing. I'm not saying he's a child molester for that. Okay, when I wash my baby's hair, the
It's
smell of a
kind of normal.
baby's hair is fantastic. I love to smell my
It's
baby's
like
hair
just
if
don't
I
use
know the
that to
baby.
justify your behavior.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hit on him for that. But Trump just makes some excellent points. Is 47 years in government, we want to see some change, so let's do it. That's
Yeah,
all. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna kill it, and we're I think we had a good one. All right,
Well,
so
dude, I thought we had some magnificent chemistry. Come on,
yeah,
sweetie. I
we're
know, Daddy's done. Daddy's done, sweetie.
in the end of all this, we're probably gonna have to freaking cut some shit out, but
I agree, dude.
I
There's some things like
since it's
I got.
my fucking podcast, I'll make that judgment.
Yeah, dude, I gotta go back and talk to because like there's I mean I'm not gonna cut anything out of what we already did, but
Yeah,
you know Andrew's already some of the things he said on his shit it got juicy the Where episode. He made
yeah,
some confessions and he doesn't want to post it. He's like that's the biggest regret of my life. I was like that's the point. Is like I've come on confessed that I thought our first sergeant I had the thoughts of our first sergeant being racist. I didn't say it was true, but that's what I thought at the time, and it
yeah,
makes sense. Makes sense why he'd be racist. I'm not even fucking, but it's just he's afraid to. I'm like, that was a mind of a subordinate, and these things that these negative things that have carried with me today, I've confessed in front of God and everybody, and it can't hurt me or touch me anymore.
Well, if it was Taylor, I'd say he's probably not.
No, not Taylor. Jeff Werde, maybe not either. I just that's what I thought at the time
Yeah.
because it was thrown around. It was thrown
Yeah.
around by a bunch of people. It wasn't just me. I just said what a bunch of people said, and I played into it. And that was just, and I specifically said, this is what we thought at the time. I threw a disclaimer, but he had a fucking bomb ass confession about being a young kid, about his mistakes that he did. He doesn't want to put it out, but I get it. I think the
Yeah.
government might try to turn it against him or something.
It makes
But
sense. I get it.
yeah, it's just unfortunate.
All right. Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. All right, Duder. We'll come back on another time, and I'll check you later. Have me on the freaking all clear again.
there, yeah, always there, hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll check you guys
All right,
later.
dude.
I'm gonna freaking refine these things probably
Dude, we need,
day after tomorrow or some shit like that when I'm sober.
yeah. Say bye bye, bye bye. So, dude, I can worship.
Bye, child.
Dude, all my children when they get on this camera have blue glowing eyes, just like me. All of my children, blue glowing. It's crazy. I don't know what this.
No, it's creepy, is what it is.
It's creepy. I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like fucking weird, dude. We all three got on the camera the other day, and then we sit back, and it's just like boom. I'm like, yes, we're like the damned. We're gonna wreak havoc.
Yeah. All right, brother. I'll check you later.